What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Locked Up 365. If you're new to my channel and you like all jail-related content, please hit that like and subscribe. I'll keep you updated on all things jail-related. Today, I'm going to be talking about jail programs. Maybe you have a friend or a loved one, or maybe you're just curious of what kind of programs they offer in these institutions. They got all these people locked up around the United States. What does the jail have to offer an inmate? I'm going to give you the inside scoop of what you need to know about what these jails offer as a free service to the inmate. Because a lot of the inmates, especially in my area, we have a high rate of addiction. So a lot of jails offer these programs to try to help them out so when they get out, they can better their life and not end up back in jail. And they don't necessarily have to have a problem in order to go to these programs. The programs are free, anybody can go to them. So just in case somebody tries to tell you they can't sign up for these programs, that's a lie. Everybody can go to the programs. Most of the time they just come in and they just call out the program's name, and whoever wants to go, they line up and go. A lot of the inmates go to these programs just to get out of the cell. I was one of those people. I would go to certain things just so I didn't have to sit in the dorm. The first program is GED. Anybody without a high school diploma can sign up and get their GED while they're in jail. Now, granted, you will have to have some time in order to complete this GED because it is a process. So if you're going to be in jail for 6 months to a year, I would fill out for the GED. But if you're only going to be in there for a few months, there's no sense in filling out for the GED because you're not going to have enough time to complete it. But they will get you a tutor. There's people that come in, they're volunteers, they come in, they help the inmates out. They will tutor you once a week on all things that are in the GED. If you're a state inmate, meaning that you already seen the judge and you got your time, you can take this GED class and get 90 days off your sentence. But that's only as a state inmate. If you're in there as a county inmate, it will not take 90 days off your sentence. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is a psych counselor. If you are somebody that takes any kind of medication for depression or anything like that, or if you know somebody that is in there that takes these medications, they do offer a psych counselor. They will see you usually about once a month. They can talk to the doctor and say, I think we need to switch them from this medication to this medication, or we need to higher up the dose. That's what the counselor's there for. They're there to make sure you are okay. Your medication is fine. Everything's working good. You're not suicidal, stuff of that nature. The next program they have every Sunday and sometimes on Wednesdays is church. A lot of the jail population go to church, whether it be just to get out of the dorm for a little bit or they just want to go see the services. Every jail offers the church service. It's usually about an hour long, maybe hour and a half. There's usually a couple preachers that come and they're all volunteers. There is multiple church programs that go on, whether you believe in God or you're a Muslim or whatever you believe in. They usually offer those services. All the jails do Ramadan, stuff like that. So if your loved one is really religious and they stick by like the Ramadan schedule, they do have that available that will be taken care of. The next program I'm going to be talking about is life skills. I thought life skills would actually teach you a lot more than what it did, but it seemed to be really religious based, and it kind of almost seemed like an extension of church. And it's usually 8 weeks long. You cannot get any time off your sentence, but you will get a certificate at the end of the 8 weeks. And say you go to one of their classes, they will give you a folder. You take homework each week. You fill that homework out. It's homework that you can't get wrong. So everybody passes. but I just thought it would be more of teaching you how to balance your checkbook and stuff like that. But a lot of people go to the life skills to get that certificate because it could help them out in going to court. Another big program in the county jail is AA or NA. Now they usually come once a week. I think it's usually on like Wednesdays or something like that. Each jail might be different. But these are also volunteers, and usually they bring an addict with them, somebody that is out, that has recovered, and they tell their life story and try to bring hope to these inmates that are in there that are going through the struggles of their addiction. I think the AA-NA program is very good. One addict helping out another addict. Like I said, all these programs that I've mentioned so far, anybody can go to them. And a lot of these AA-NA people, they have a lot of connections outside, like in sober livings and stuff like that. So if you do happen to know somebody, I would definitely recommend them going to these classes and talking to these people, just in case they don't have nowhere to go when they get out. One of the biggest programs going around in jail today, especially for addicts, is S.A.P. S.A.P. It stands for Substance Abuse Program. S.A.P is a 6-month-long program. This gets 90 days off your sentence. This program is pretty brutal. You could have up to 100 to 300 people holding you accountable for everything you do. While I was in S.A.P, I got wrote up for sleeping in class when I wasn't. I also got wrote up for wearing my flip-flops in the cafeteria. Stuff that really don't matter, but in there, if it's a rule and you break it, somebody's going to hold you accountable. Sometimes they will make you write the entire big book front to back. And I don't know if you know how big that thing is, but it could take months to write that thing. If you just do what you're supposed to do for the whole 6 months, you will go right through it. If you go in there and try to take shortcuts and stuff like that, you're going to have a hard time, and a lot of people don't cut it through S.A.P. When I was in S.A.P, there was like 60 people that was supposed to graduate with me. By the end of it, there was 12. I don't know, I would say at least only 1 in 4 people actually graduate S.A.P. Now the S.A.P, you can do the S.A.P as a county inmate also. The S.A.P program is not only for state inmates, you can also do this as a county inmate. You can get this service for free, you just got to sign up. You might have to wait a little bit. They kind of interview you to make sure you would be a good candidate. But if you have a true issue with drugs or alcohol or anything like that, you are getting in. You're a shoo-in. Okay, the next program we're going to be talking about is M.R.T. M.R.T was my favorite program. Unlike S.A.P, you didn't have everybody running around trying to write you up, hold you accountable for every little thing. M.R.T is basically, it makes you look deep inside yourself, find out what your issues really are. It really helped me out, and it gets you ready for the outside world. A lot of people think that they're ready to get out, but they're really not. Usually, if you have that kind of mentality, like you got everything under control, you're probably going to end up right back in jail. But this M.R.T, the book is $25. This was the only program that I seen that you had to pay something to do in jail. But you could get your family or friends, somebody to bring up $25, or if you have that on your commissary account, you can pay for it that way. The M.R.T program I was in was the first M.R.T program in the jail at the time. They had never done it before, but if your county jail offers the M.R.T program, it's a 90-day program. If you have friends or family, I would definitely recommend them taking this M.R.T program. It's only offered to state inmates, but you get 90 days off your sentence. That's 3 months that you don't have to be in jail. Rather how long your sentence is. If it's 10 years long and you take S.A.P and M.R.T, there's 6 months off your sentence right there. Okay, the last thing we're going to be talking about, I'm going to go over a couple quick programs that are not in the county jail that they might offer you to get released to go to these programs. From what I hear, drug court is very brutal. It's very time consuming. I don't really see how a lot of people even do this program and hold a full-time job, because they want you to come to drug court almost every day of the week. And I.O.P. is the same way depending on what level they put you on. They might put you on, you have to go there 3 days a week for classes for 2-3 hours at a time. I don't see how people are supposed to hold a full-time job if they got to worry about getting to these programs. I.O.P. and drug court is basically like school from what I've gathered. I have not been on these, but I've known a lot of people that has. With both of them, you got to take random drug tests. And it's all time consuming. If you just got out of jail and you went to a sober living because you didn't have nowhere to go, you don't have a car, you don't have family that want to mess with you because you done burnt all your bridges. These people got to find money to get on a bus, get to this I.O.P. or drug court every day, then do a class for a few hours, and then find their way back home. I don't see how they're supposed to hold a full-time job if they're gone for 6 hours out of the day doing these classes. But if that's what the courts want and you want to stay out of jail, that's what you have to do. That's all I got as far as programs. If you know any other programs that are in these jails that I forgot, please leave it in the comments section below. If you would like to follow me on Instagram or Facebook, or join my Patreon and get early access to my videos, thumbnails, and get a lot of bonus material, y'all can check that out. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. I value your opinion, so if anybody has any recommendations on videos they would like to see, please leave in the comments section. I'd like to thank everybody for watching Locked Up 365.